Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the International Webinar Series. On Holistic Health, Well-being and Sustainable Development 2024, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 77 years of independence, and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030, as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Well-being. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations. Today and this week is celebrated as World Space Week by Resolution 54/68 of 6 December 1999. The General Assembly proclaimed World Space Week to celebrate the contributions of space science and technology to the betterment of the human condition. World Space Week is the largest annual space event in the world. The weeks help build up in the workforce of tomorrow by inspiring students, demonstrates visible public support for the space program, educates the public about space activities, and fosters international cooperation in space outreach and education. So each year, a theme is selected by the World Space Week Association Board of Directors in close coordination with the UN Office of Outer Space Affairs. The theme provides broad guidance to the World Space Week participants on the content of their programs. The theme is selected to increase the impact of World Space Week on all humanity, further by using a uniform theme globally. So this year, the theme is Space and Climate Change. This theme celebrates transformation to impact of space technology in our ongoing battle against climate change, emphasizing the proactive role space exploration plays in enhancing our understanding and management of its climate. Event organizers worldwide are encouraged to integrate the theme space and climate change into their World Space Week events. So activities may range from educational workshops and interactive sessions to panel discussions and collaborative projects, all aimed at fostering innovative environmental solutions. On 4th October 1957, the launch into the outer space of the first human-made satellite, Sputnik 1, opened the way for space exploration. A decade later, on 10th October 1967, the Treaty on Principles Governing the Activities of the States in the Exploration and Use of Outer Space including the moon and other celestial bodies, entered into force. Space science and technology and their applications are increasingly being used to support a wide range of United Nations activities. At least 25 United Nations entities and World Bank Group routinely use space applications. They make important and sometimes essential contributions to the work of the United Nations, including the implementation of recommendations of major world conferences and those of Third United Nations Conference on the Exploration and Peaceful Uses of Outer Space, UNISPACE 3, as well as support towards sustainable development. As a consequence, coordination, cooperation, and synergy are essential for those activities to be effectively carried out by the United Nations system. The annual sessions of the Interagency Meeting on Outer Space Activities are the main means of achieving that synergy. The effectiveness of the meeting have been further enhanced by holding, since 2004, of an open informed session immediately after the end of the meeting as a means of the engaging member states in a direct and informal setting. It is in important space-related developments in the United Nations system. The agenda of the interagency meeting is reviewed at each session and adapted to current operational needs. From every space beginning to the space age, the United Nations recognized that outer space added a new dimension to humanity's existence. The United Nations family strives continuously to utilize the unique benefits of outer space for the betterment of all humankind. Recognizing the common interest of humankind in outer space and seeking to answer questions on how outer space can help benefit the people of Earth, the General Assembly adopted the first resolution related to outer space, Resolution 1348 of 13, entitled Question of the Peaceful Use of Outer Space. On 18th October 1967, the Magna Carta of Space, also known as the Treaty on Principles governing the activities of states in the exploration and use of outer space, including the moon and other celestial bodies, entered into force. So today, the United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs, UNOSA, is the United Nations office responsible for promoting international cooperation in the peaceful uses of outer space. UNOSA serves as the Secretariat for General Assembly, only committee dealing with exclusively with international cooperation and peaceful uses of outer space. The United Nations Committee on the Peaceful Use of Outer Space, POPUS, UNOSA is also responsible for implementing the Secretary General's responsibilities under international space law and maintaining the United Nations Register of Objects launched into outer space. The United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs, UNOSA, in cooperation with the China Manned Space Agency, launched a program which capitalizes on the technology and innovative skills of the government of China to benefit member status of the United Nations, in particular developing countries, thereby contributing to the 17 Sustainable Development Goals through increasing access to space. The Orbital Space Mission, the United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs, UNOSA, is partnering with the Sierra Nevada Corporation, SNC, to offer United Nations member states the opportunity to participate in the Orbital Space Mission, utilizing SNC's Dream Chaser space vehicle. The mission will carry experiments, payloads, or satellites provided by institutions in the participating countries. Today, is also commemorated as World Animal Day. It's time for all animal lovers to show us their compassion because October 4th is World Animal Day, and we are planning to make it a big role. Animals can't talk in the conventional way that humans communicate with each other, but there's one day where we all can give a voice to the animals who can't speak for themselves. On October 4th, people spanning the globe will come together to celebrate World Animal Day in any corner of the planet. No matter which country you explore, animals will consistently have a strong impact on region's culture. World Animal Day dates as far back as 1925 when the Heinrich Zimmermann organized the first celebration in Berlin. Zimmermann, the publisher of the German animal lovers magazine, Man and Dog, launched the event to raise awareness and improve the welfare of animals. The date of October 4th is also known as the feast day of Saint Francis of Assisi, the patron saint of animals. Beloved among all Catholics, Saint Francis was famously recognized for his remarkable way with animals and all living things. Saint Francis is also chosen papal name for his holiness himself. Pope Francis, some Catholic churches have even been known to offer blessings to pets on this day in the honor of all Saint Francis has done for animals. So World Animal Day has also become an arena for ecologists to discuss the problems associated with endangered species. Beginning in 2003, the UK-based charity Nature Watch Foundation has sponsored the event and organized ways for animal lovers all over the world to take part and make their voices heard in support of our animal friends. This day is not just for domesticated animals, it's for wild animals, endangered species, and those threatened by environmental devastation or lack of protection. This day is a reminder not just to love animals in our homes, but to appreciate and respect all living things that are part of the ecosystem. Animal shelters and conservation centers organize events on World Animal Day, or even you can participate online daily as our platform commemorates and celebrates lot of days. So today we are celebrating and commemorating World Animal Day as well. So there's a lot you can do. You can volunteer at local center or conservation center, join in a peaceful protest, or donate to your favorite animal rights organization. One of the best ways to do your part is to get involved with any of the office events happening on October 4th. A good place to start is official World Animal Day website where you can get help coming up with an idea, organizing a plan, and putting it into action. Adopt a pet. Pet adopt-a-thons are a common event held in many cities on World Animal Day, and it's small action that can make a big difference. At these events, attendees can learn about pet ownership and care and share stories with fellow pet owners, buy pet-related toys, products, and more. Peaceful protests are also common place around the world on October 4th. These can range from better treatment of agriculture, livestock to complete termination of cultural pastimes such as bullfighting, whale slaughtering, and poaching elephants under the wild. Seahorses mate for life. When they travel, they do hold each other's tails. The heart of a shrimp is located in its head. At 188 decibels, the blue whale can produce the loudest sound of an animal, any animal. Flamingos are naturally white. Their diet of brine, shrimp, and algae turns them pink. A tiger's skin also has stripes, and each pattern is unique as a fingerprint. And a tiger can't change its stripes. Ecosystems are extremely fragile. When one species exists for any reason, it often has serious repercussions for the rest of the system. By celebrating World Animal Day, we raise awareness about the importance of conserving the balance in our ecosystems. This ensures tens of thousands of people will maintain their farming and fishing livelihoods. The mission of World Animal Day is to bring together all humans in the name of improving the lives of animals. This means all people, regardless of nationality, faith, religion, or political ideology, are welcome to join in to make a difference. The ultimate goal is to ensure animals are recognized as sentient beings, and we do all we can do to improve their life welfare. Over the years, World Animal Day has been great success in improving the lives of animals in Egypt. The day's events we had led to additional clauses in the Egyptian constitution that offer rights to animals. Similarly, in Sudan, Parliament has introduced new legislation meant to protect animals. Today is also commemorated as World Habitat Day. Homes build lives and strengthen the future. This is exactly the sentiment World Habitat Day celebrates. Held on first Monday of October each year, on October 4th this year, this day aims to spread knowledge on the basic right to shelter and remind people that they are also responsible for future generations. So urbanization can be traced way back to ancient Mesopotamia, now called Iraq. Two cities flourished in this period, Uruk and Ur, which were situated closely to the banks of Euphrates River at that time. Historians also credit the rise of urban areas to such river valley civilizations in places like Egypt, India, and China. These places initially depend on agriculture and domestic cattle, but soon expanded into training centers and merchant hubs. Data records that urbanization spread from ancient Mesopotamia to Egypt and from there to ancient Greece. Where the Mesopotamian cities eventually faded out, we can only guess the causes like overcrowding, overutilization of natural resources. Subsequent ancient civilizations took care to prevent the less desirable consequences of urbanization, especially in Egypt. The growth of urban areas accelerated to a great extent around 200 years ago as people went in search of jobs, which were, of course, mostly in cities where factories were located. Over the past 50 years, urbanization has been rapid growth. A huge amount of people live in urban areas around the globe. The much of its urbanization is taking place in Asia, Africa, and Latin America. Today, countries around the world see the same pattern, people flocking to urban areas in search of different livelihoods and more prosperous living standards. Functioning as economic centers, cities are constantly growing and adapting, but sometimes lack of planning and adequate resources causes major problems. In such settings, adequate housing is not a certainty for many urban residents. To address this problem, in 1985, the United Nations created and passed a resolution to celebrate World Habitat Day each year on the first Monday in October. Multiple countries celebrate this day, partnering with global and national organizations to examine how urbanization affects human habitats and how this impacts the environment as well. 4 years later, the United Nations Agency for Urban Development called the United Nations Human Settlements Program, UN Habitat, launched a special award for initiatives that have made outstanding contributions in building human habitats and improving quality of human life. This award winning, which is a plaque engraved with winner's name and their achievement, is presented during the global observance of World Habitat. Less than one-third in the world's population lives in urban areas. Scientists say around two-thirds of the world will likely live in cities by 2030. The UN General Assembly passes Resolution 40 by 202, establishing World Habitat Day, starts being celebrated a year after this in 1980. A UN agency, UN Habitat, launches a special award called the UN Habitat Scroll of Honor Award. It is given for outstanding contributions in shelter provision, highlighting the plight of the homeless, etc. in 1989. Because cities contribute about 70% of the global carbon dioxide emissions, this year's theme for the World Habitat Day is accelerating urban action for a carbon-free world. As per estimates, 1.6 billion people live in inadequate shelters. Of those, 1 billion live in informal settlements. According to the National Geographic Society, the place where any living organism makes its home in its habitat. The habitat is also supposed to contain all environmental conditions needed to survive: shelter, water, food, and space in adequate amounts. Grab all the resources you can get from the UN website or partner websites that celebrate this event, share the literature, or simply tell any other person about this day and its significance. The more people realize World Habitat Day importance, the stronger the impact we can have. Check in with community leaders, local charities, and organizations that focus on better housing. Ask how you can help and donate your time and expertise to the cause. Local and global habitat building initiatives are always in motion. Lend your hand and other talents to the cause. Help give a family a new home and a better life. The first celebration took place in Nairobi, Kenya, and the theme was "Shelter is my right." The United Nations selects a new theme for the World Habitat Day each year based on the ongoing habitat-related issues. Previous themes include Shelter for the Homeless, 1987, Future Cities, 1997, Women in Urban Governance, 2000, and Cities and Climate Change in 2011, and so on. More than half of the world's 7 billion people call cities and other urban areas home, as 55% of the world lives in cities. As per the global estimates, more than 96,000 housing units will need to be built each year to meet the rising demand. According to the present trend, urban areas will see an influx of an additional 3 billion people by 2050. A decent place to live in can eliminate barriers to success and opportunities that might not have existed for a family for a long time. This day communicates the all-important message that every single person across the globe deserves to live in a good house. Not only in the world focusing on building shelter, but they are also investigating the environmental impact current urbanization has on future housing. With every initiative, we are trying to make the world a better place for future. Today is also commemorated as World Smile Day in US, which is relatively a new one with a fascinating story, created by a commercial artist named Harvey Ball. This day came out as a response to his creation of the smiley face. Harvey worried that the commercialization of the symbol would lessen its impact. We can hardly blame him for his estimation. The symbol has been used in many different ways, including clothing, cosmic books, coffee mugs, pins, and many. These little yellow faces are more than a symbol. They are a statement about the power of smiling. In 1963, Harvey Ball, a graphic artist and an ad man from Worcester, Massachusetts, created the smiley face symbol we all come to know. Popularity for this symbol exploded into the world of popular culture. It's every artist's dream for their work is to be respected and recreated, and few symbols have quite the legacy that Harvey's creation has had. Throughout the years, the smiley face has become one of the most well-known symbols in the world. It has appeared in movies such as Forrest Gump and used as a motif in graphic novel Watchmen. It is so well known that just by saying smiley face, we bet that you can see it in your mind. The recognizable yellow circle with black dots for eyes and a simple curve for genuine and pure smile. However, the original smiley face had more of an oblong smile, a bit more down in aesthetic, taking up more space on the face than we see in modern recreations. Because of its overuse, it tended to move away from its intent of goodwill and good cheer, and he knows something had to be done. In 1999, World Smiley Day became an official holiday. In order to regain control, the celebration aspects of the day were simple yet effective. People were to use the day to smile and make small acts of kindness worldwide. Harvey wanted to keep the smile connected to the human being. By doing so, you would smile and in return would make someone else smile and brighten up their day. It is also commemorated as National Taco Day in US, a concentrated and intensified version of Taco Tuesdays. Many restaurants offer in a bid to bring happy hour-like crowds. Taco Tuesday was actually trademarked across the country in 1989 by the Wyoming-based fast food chain called Taco John's, except in New Jersey, where the trademark had already claimed by Grigory's Restaurant and Bar back in 1982. However, nobody needs to worry about the legality of what their dinner is called. On National Taco Day, we only need to grab some tortillas and stuff with savory fillings from traditional carne asada, cheese, tomato, lettuce, and sour cream, to more exotic gustatory delights like fish, chorizo, even talk to name only a few of the meat component alternatives. Even the word stuff is no accident. Many believe that the word taco derives from the Spanish taco, meaning to stuff. One of the great things about National Taco Day is all the freebies and great value deals that are knocking around. Day is also commemorated as National Golf Lovers Day in US, exhilarating and dispiriting and thrilling and embarrassing, joyous and depressing. No activity on earth compasses the full emotional spectrum like golf. And that's why we love it. This October 4th celebrated National Golf Lovers Day by recognizing one of the world's most popular sports. Hit the links and play around as you enjoy a few competitive and friendly lobs with your fellow sufferers, while golf can drive even the greatest players completely bonkers. Hitting just one good shot means you can't wait to tee it again. In other words, just repeat and repeat. Today is also commemorated as National Cinnamon Roll Day. A warm buttery with sugar, honey, and cinnamon sweet treats are made of these, and what can indulge it yourself. Everyone loves cinnamon rolls and everyone has their special favorite. This day was first celebrated around 19 years ago in Sweden, and love for this day is just as sweet. All over the country, people bake and enjoy various types of cinnamon rolls on this day, whether you buy them or bake them. On National Cinnamon Roll Day. Let sweet times roll. Today is also National Body Language Day in US, which occurs on the first Friday of October. It falls on October 4th. This day intends to make people realize the power of body language as an important mode of communication. Be it relationship with little verbal communication or something our pets want to convey, body language is too significant to ignore. One can easily learn it by doing research, watching YouTube videos, or attending TED Talks. Body language is a form of communication in which physical behaviors instead of words are used to express information. This includes facial expressions, postures, gestures, eye movements, touch, and use of space. Body language is all about nonverbal communication, which is far more effective than verbal communication. International body language expert Blanca Cobb is the reason we celebrate National Body Language Day. It is known fact that body language fascinates people. We want to learn how to read and use it to understand the language. Fascinates people, and we want to learn how to read it, use it to understand better. Bob has been working in the field since 2010 and has been analyzed the body language of celebrities, offered her services in legal cases and dating and relationship studies, and offer incredible insights regarding networking. She stressed the importance of making body language a national holiday to highlight the importance of nonverbal communication and help people better understand it. Contrary to common belief, body language is not reserved for humans. Animals too make use of body language to express themselves, and sometimes in comical ways. So next time your body or your dog is rolling in an odd way, or your cat decides to jump onto your lap after years of ignoring you, think about what it means in terms of body language, and you'll have all the answers. Today is also commemorated as Mera Chorain Hoba in India, which is celebrated on the first day of the month of Merata, the seventh month of Manipuri lunar calendar. It falls on October 4th, which is a highly specific calendar that follows rules different from Hindu solar calendar and the Islamic lunar calendar. Mera Choran Hoba is a regional public holiday and celebration in the northeastern India of Manipur. It is an annual celebration that is observed with a lot of reverence to state. Today is also commemorated as Manufacturing Day in US. Every year, America's manufacturing sector opens its days to celebrate Manufacturing Day on the first day of October, falling on October 4th this year. For those interested in making things with mind and machines, it is a day that begins with a national month of inspirational experiences. This year also, America's manufacturing sector is gearing up to celebrate manufacturing sector's contribution to the United States economic power. Today is also commemorated as Lesotho Independence Day. Lesotho Independence Day is celebrated on October 4th every year, as the Day of the Nation became a sovereign state from British in 1996. At the time, it was known as Bostoland, but upon independence, it was renamed the Kingdom of Lesotho, with a king at its helm, Mosho II, and its Prime Minister, Chief Lebowa Jonathan. This landlocked country, which is completely surrounded by South Africa, is still going strong and has largely been unaffected by political turmoils that have affected other African nations. Today is also commemorated as Kiribati Education Day in Kiribati. It doesn't have a fixed date, and this year will be celebrated on October 4th. The day is determined by government of Kiribati and depends on which day. World Teachers' Day falls. Kiribati is a remote island situated in the Pacific Ocean and that has a population of over 1,20,000. Education Day is a public holiday that everyone enjoys as an island receives free primary and junior secondary education. It's an important part of island's value system. Typically, the day is spent celebrating with dances, sporting events, and school tours. Today is also commemorated as Kindness to Animal Day in Philippines, which is observed on October 4th every year for more than 60 years, beginning with a proclamation issued by the President of Philippines, Carlos Polistico Garcia. The fact that the President of a country made the part of his life work shows that no matter who you are, what you do, or where you come from, being compassionate towards animals is and always will be a worthy case and cause. Pets, particularly dogs and cats, have been scientifically proven to reduce stress, anxiety, and depression, elevate loneliness, and promote exercise and playfulness. Caring for an animal can help children become more secure and active as they grow older. Pets can also be a valuable source of companionship for elderly, but it doesn't just end with pets. Being kind to animals is a great way to get connected with them on a deeper level out of respect and understanding. Being kind to animals is good for you, those around you, and the animals themselves. Today is also commemorated as Kids Music Day in US, which is celebrated on first day of October to inspire kids to assimilate music into their lives. As adults, we can make plans to make this day memorable for both kids and us. Today is also commemorated as Improve Your Office Day in US, which marks the day when we declutter and make our workspace more productive and even uplift the spirits in our offices if necessary. The concept of an office originated from the medieval monks, Victorium, a place for writing, but the concept became formalized in the 18th century when the East India Company needed a bureaucracy to process information and make decisions about its newly acquired empire in India. Over the years, the office has undergone different design, sizes, and philosophies, but it has always been within a designated building. Today is also commemorated as Semana Mozanica in Honduras, or Morzanica Week, which is celebrated from October 4th to 7th. Every year is critical for economic and cultural development of Honduras. It has become one of the channels through which Honduras can publicize their work, increase productivity, and attract people from all over the world, allowing them to witness the natural and cultural riches the country has to offer. Morzanica Week was created in honor of national hero General Francisco Morazan, who was born in early October. Today is also commemorated as National Manufacturing Week in US from October 4th to 11th, which begins on first Friday and continues for a week across the country. This year it takes place from October 4th to 11th. The week-long celebration aims to honor the contributions of manufacturing sector by sharing information about all the work the sector has done in the last year and its impact on country's economy. National Manufacturing Week is an initiative by the Manufacturing Institute which works to develop technologies through public-private partnerships. The US Census Bureau hosts the celebrations of the week. So with this, we shall conclude today's commemorations. Thank you everyone for joining us. We request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form which has been shared in the form of polls. as we are celebrating Navratri, which is a significant celebration over 9 nights, each dedicated to a different form of goddess Durga, which has commenced on October 3 and is going to conclude on October 11th. And every day there is a color associated, and there is a form of goddess Durga every day, symbolizing unique qualities like strength, prosperity, and so on. Each day is associated with a specific color, symbolizing different attributes and energies. Like day 1, yellow color goddess Shailaputri symbolizes happiness, brightness, and energy. Day 2, green color goddess Brahmacharini, that is today, represents growth, harmony, and new beginnings. Day 3, gray color goddess Chandraghanta reflects stability and strength. Day 4, orange color goddess Kushmanda symbolizes enthusiasm, warmth, and energy. Day 5, white color goddess Kandamata represents peace and purity. Day 6, red color goddess Katyayani, a color of power and passion. Day 7, royal blue goddess Kalratri represents royalty, elegance, and wealth. Day 8, pink color goddess Mahagauri symbolizes compassion, harmony, and love. Day 9, purple color goddess Siddhidatri reflects spirituality, ambition, and prosperity. So with this, we shall conclude today's commemorations. Thank you everyone for joining us. We request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form. See you all tomorrow. Take care. Good night.